Bitter criticism. We are here. Here we are. We are. I don't know. Russia Today agent. Yes. Yes, we are. Me and the cameraman, isn't it? Alfredo, isn't it? Yeah. Alfredo is doing like that. We are. Oh. I just found I lost some rubber here, some support from my laptop, and I lost a piece of stabilizing rubber supporter, supportive. I don't know. Well, the helmet is just because of I forgot to take off, and I guess now it's trendy. So helmets in the edge of the fashion. You don't have one helmet? Well, so bad for you, because now is the helmet time. It's beautiful, isn't it? Russia Today. This helmet is like a war helmet from Russia Today, but it's not war. It's just plastic. Just to dance break dancing. Well, tonight we're gonna read a lot of bullshit because I got some Western news. This is supposed to be scientific news, but I have no idea what is Business Insider about. Looks like it's about business, isn't it? Well, this is I guess is a terrible Western propaganda, isn't it? We will read a lot of poison here, but. This is all about criticism, criticism all the media. You know, there was a Brazilian program there was a guy Diniz, and he uses to criticize the media or observe the media in Brazil. But yeah, he was very polite. Actually, he died because he was too old, but he was a really nice guy, a really nice old guy. But I don't know, I'm not too old and I'm not too nice neither. So we're gonna this news was a provocation because I don't know. Look, I will read 8 more news, or yeah, something like that. I will read 8 news from Insider, businessinsider.com, if I can. This is from Home News. The journalist is from yesterday. The journalist Tom Porter. Putin snubbed Xi back after their one-sided summit with a nuclear announcement that directly undermines China. This Insider is saying that Russia and China are not friends no more. Russian President Vladimir Putin and China's President Xi Jinping. Well, we have a photo here, a photograph. It's the same photo that always. The Putin and Xi drinking some champagne, something like that. So I can see why they are not friends. They look very powerful. Actually, they look very confident. I want to be a Chinese or Russian for sure, because they know what they're doing, dude. Russian President Vladimir Putin and China's President Xi Jinping at the Kremlin in Moscow on March 21, 2023. Putin humiliated China's Xi Jinping a week after their summit, a former US ambassador said. US ambassador, you know? This is a news from what a US ambassador says. I guess there's no news there. So they, I don't know, they reply things from their friends. So this is absolutely propaganda. Michael McFaul said Putin's decision to station nukes in Belarus was a snub to Xi. To station nukes in Belarus. I can understand why, because Belarus is even far from China. You know, Russia is have borders with China in the east, but Belarus. Let's read it again. Michael McFaul said Putin's decision to station nukes in Belarus was a snub to Xi. Why? Putin and Xi strengthened their alliance at a summit in Moscow last week, but tensions remain. Well, I have to read this because I don't know. Russia, because I have to read anything in English. That's why. Russian President Vladimir Putin humiliated China's President Xi Jinping by revealing plans to station nuclear weapons in Belarus, according to former US Ambassador to Russia Michelle McFaul. The announcement made on Saturday marks the first time since the collapse of the Soviet Union that Russia has said it will store tactical nuclear weapons on foreign soil. McFaul pointed to the timing of the announcement, saying it has come just days after Russia issued a joint statement with China in which they declared their opposition to countries stationing nuclear weapons abroad. I have no idea what they're talking about. Not very respectful to his good friend Xi, tweeted McFaul, who is currently a professor of political science at Stanford University. Look, it's too bad for Stanford, you know, because they have who is this guy? McFaul, ambassador Michael McFaul, and teacher from Stanford, and I don't understanding why to send nuclear weapons to Belarus is a threat to China, because China is in a whole other, I guess, Lukashenko and Xi Jinping never met each other. They don't. Maybe they met each other once in, I don't know, in a tennis game, in a tennis match, but they have no relation between Belarus and China. I have to understand this. McFaul said the announcement would particularly rankle Beijing, given that Belarus President Viktor Lukashenko had recently made a state visit to China. Well, I made a mistake here. Both Putin and Lukashenko humiliated Xi. Remember, Luka was just treated to a fancy state visit to China. Xi just came to Moscow. Can you imagine this decision is going down well in Beijing, he tweeted. Xi signaled to Russia last November that the use of nuclear weapons in Ukraine would be a red line. Politico said, you know, I know this political side. I read something, but I don't remember nothing. I should read more about this tomorrow, I guess. Politico, huh? Well, so the thing is, he told to Putin to not send nuclear weapons to Belarus, and looks like, as I read, Lukashenko went to China. But you know, this is ridiculous from insider and Western media and the US, and this guy that is ridiculous for Stanford, because politics is a theater, you know. Of course, they will say anything, you know. No, this war must be over, yeah, absolutely, but they want to invade Taiwan, dude. This is the reality, you know. If I don't know, if the US will not fight fight with fight alongside Taiwan, China just will take over some decades ago, you know. So of course she I don't know, she knows everything and she talk lies. Everybody lies, and presidents must lie, must act like actors. These have no. Both Putin and Lukashenko mediated Xi. Remember, China has handled the Russian economy a lifetime amid punishing sanctions over the unprovoked invasion of Ukraine, and has refrained from criticizing Russia's invasion, providing the Kremlin with crucial diplomatic support. Well, China, no, the truth is China, of course they are saying this, but they want to take Taiwan back. That's the truth, that's the story. And they will support Russia because they are in the same situation, and of course China has a lot of partnership with West, and they have a lot of problems with ships too. But so that's why China must lie. Lie. At last week's summit, Putin and Xi presented a common front against the global power of the US and its allies. However, analysts told Insider that the summit indicated that the balance of power between Russia and China had tipped in China's favor, and that Xi has secured lucrative access to the Russian economy while offering little in terms of extra support. Xi appeared to press home the advantage last week by inviting Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and Uzbekistan to the first China Central Asia Summit, the AFP news agency reported. Look, the only thing I really care about this news is this China Central Asia Summit. I'm very well. I don't like much the cold weather, but Kazakhstan is a lot of cold in winter. But Kazakhstan has all the resources. Kazakhstan is the country of the future. I guess. And China, if China have a summit with theirs, so this will be awesome. China, because Kazakhstan is like an open country for the West too, for Western, like the US. So it will be Kazakhstan another war field, another war scenario. It depends on China's policy and Russia's policy. I hope not, because I want to move there. The states are all former members of the Soviet Union and long regarded as part of Russia's sphere of influence. Well, thank you, Insider, to inform me about Kazakhstan's future. That's the only thing I can say. Well, we have 7 news, not 8. From Insider. Sam Bankman-Fried tried to bribe Chinese official with at least 40 billion, prosecutors say in a new charge. Well, this is a Insider a business magazine, I guess. Yeah, Business Insider. So what they doing? I guess they are, of course, they are doing journalism, but they are all these news are like they say good things about China. Look, they try to bribe Chinese officials. Let's see what happens. Chengdu Sunday, March 28th was today. Here we have Sam Bankman-Fried has been hit with a new bribery conspiracy charge. Who is Sam Bankman? And well, look, all this corruption thing is moralistic, you know. They don't really exist. This because corruption, okay, there will be, I don't know, they represent nothing in economy, you know. I don't know, maybe imagine all the world's economy and imagine the percentage the part of bribes and corruption. It will be 1% in the maximum, you know. And we have a lot of news about bribery, and it's only less than 1% of, I guess, you know. So all these bribery and corruption things are not really news. They are not news. They are not important. Sam Bankman-Fried was hit by, he spent 40 million or more in crypto to influence Chinese officials, prosecutors said. He's previously pleaded not guilty to the DOJ's original charges. Sam Bankman-Fried, the former CEO of fallen crypto exchange FTX, has been hit with a new bribery conspiracy charge. Look, this is Business Insider talking about cryptocurrency, I guess. Prosecutors have accused Bankman-Fried to spending at least 40 million in crypto on at least one or more Chinese government officials in order to influence them, according to an updated indictment unsealed on Tuesday. Who is this Bankman? A representative for Bankman-Fried. Yeah, it's not his name. It's Sam Bankman. Sam. His name is Sam, and his surname, his family name is Bankman, and the name of the bank is Bankman. Is what I'm getting from this news. Well, looks like the Chinese official took the bribe. Who knows? A representative for Bankman-Fried declined to comment. In January, Bankman-Fried previously planned. Look, the good guy for his Business Insider is the Sam Bankman, and they saying to the whole West people that this guy who is I guess he's corrupt, but he corrupted the Chinese officials, so he don't want to talk. Can you see? So China is, I don't know, the enemy, but your friend, the corrupted guy, don't want to talk, you know. This is theater, you know. It's theater. It's not reality. This is a script. This is a novel. How to say this? I forgot the novel. This is a novel. Yeah, this is a romance. In January, Bankman-Fried previously pleaded not guilty to the original 8-count indictment that prosecutors had filed back in December. Prosecutors have since hit him with additional charges, including in an earlier superseding indictment filed in February. Bankman-Fried hasn't entered a plea on the newer charges. A representative for the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York, which brought the charges in this case, declined to comment. Prosecutors positioned their new charge against Bankman-Fried as part of a larger narrative about how they say the one-time crypto billionaire wielded his influence. He's a billionaire. Now he's a billionaire. They alleged that this episode with Chinese officials began with a problem in 2021 when the trading accounts of Alameda Research, Bankman-Fried's other crypto company, was frozen on Chinese crypto exchanges amid a separate investigation there, according to the update indictment. Bankman-Fried then embarked on a mission that year to recover those funds, prosecutors said, ultimately carrying out what they alleged was a bribery scheme. And the news, well, this news is not clear. That scheme started with a 40 million transfer from Alameda to help unfreeze the accounts in China, prosecutors said, adding that, well, all this is to say that China is corrupt. It is absolutely corrupt, and who knows if this guy don't want to talk, you know. This is not the news because they don't have some guys say anything and they don't want to talk. They say he did, but they don't want to talk, you know. That scheme started with a 40 million transfer from Alameda to help unfreeze the accounts in China, prosecutors said, adding that it was followed by more payouts of additional tens of millions of dollars in cryptocurrency. Prosecutors have already leveled campaign finance charges against Bankman-Fried, alleging that he devised a scheme to make political donations to curry favor with candidates who would potentially help advance his interests in Washington, according to their indictment in February. The DOJ has acted swiftly since FTX filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in November, first bringing changes against Bankman-Fried in December to draw him back to the U.S. from the Bahamas at the time, and securing plea deals with key players in this inner circle. Alameda's former CEO Caroline Ellison, FTX co-founder Gary Hang, and former FTX chief engineer Nishat Singh are all cooperating with prosecutors. Well, it is a long and empty news, and I don't know. I regret from reading that, because that news was stupid. So I guess China is far less corrupt than the US. I bet on China, you know. You know what I saw today? I saw this video from Caspian Report, and Caspian Report, they are talking about the never-ending war in Ukraine, and they said that Russia will have to pay a lot, will have to invest a lot in war, and that's why, and Russia now will understand why the US don't have a universal health security system. And who knows? I don't really know the actually if Russia have or not, or if China have a universal health system. But imagine everybody knows that the US don't have a healthcare system, a universal healthcare system. Anyway, and this is from the US itself. This is Insider About the US. Home News. This is from today too. Grace Elisa Goodwin, Rebecca Cohen, and Natalie Musumeci. Graphic body camera footage shows how Nashville police found and shot the Covenant school shooter in minutes. Look, this is a footage. Well, this is like, I don't know, this is more violence. This is a news about some video about taking down an American boy, I guess. Newly released body cam footage shows Nashville police officers charging into the Covenant school to stop a mass shooter. It took police under 4 minutes to find and kill the shooter after entering the school. The graphic video shows a body on the ground, as well as the moment police shot and killed the shooter. Well, this is, I don't know, this is entertainment, isn't it? Like a lot of violent videos, and that's it. This is just show it is a pretty large article. It's a pretty big article. It's a medium article, but that's it. This is not news there. Cannot understand. This is not news. A news about a violent footage. So they want war inside their country, outside their country. You know, it's all about violence. Is the US a good country? Well, this look, I will read just the headlines. The guy behind the viral fake photo of the Pope is a puffy coat in a puffy coat says using AI to make images of celebrities might be the line and calls for greater regulation. Well, I saw this photo. We don't have here the photo, or we have, no, we don't have. But well, this I don't have. This maybe is a funny photo, I guess, because the Pope with this is just funny, but it's not so funny. But people in Western people, they think a lot about fashion, you know. They think a lot about fashion, and that's funny for them. The Pope with a celebrity, how to say, a puffy coat. Yeah, look, the Pope with a white puffy coat. That's funny. And this is an article about that, and in Business Insider, a Medium article. Well, a lot of Medium articles talking about that. It's not serious neither. Look, AI to make images of celebrities may be the line, you know, this is not important at all. In the end, I saw this news about travel. This is a topic called Life in Business Insider, and in Life there is an article like a tourist article. Oh wait, I don't have here. Well, it's fine. It's better like that, I guess. Yeah, I don't have. I will just read the headlines. I've lived in Bali for almost 20 years, and these are 6 mistakes tourists should avoid making when they visit. Indonesian Luciana Nar moved to Bali in 2004 and spent many summers living on the island as a child. Over the years, she she was watching the beaches fill up as it becomes one of the top vacation spots in Asia. And her said tourists should be more mindful of local norms when traveling to Bali. Well, that will be interesting to read, but maybe other day. I was reading some. I didn't click. No, maybe it's here. Yeah, it's here. Yeah, let's read it. I was reading. I was reading Clifford Geertz, and he talks a lot of Bali. I don't know why. Maybe the US have a lot of interest in Indonesia because Indonesia is pretty strategic. Is like and there are a lot of islands. If you control Indonesia, you kind of control the whole Asia, yeah, isn't it? If you control Indonesia, you are very close to Asia, and you can, I don't know, you can control the world, isn't it? It's a strategic spot. And again, I've lived in Bali for almost 20 years, and these are 6 mistakes tourists should avoid making when they visit. Mariel Descalzota from Today, to March 28, 2023. It's pretty beautiful. These gates of heaven. Yeah, it's pretty beautiful. Actually, the architecture is pretty beautiful. Indonesian Lucian Anar moved to Bali in 2004 and spent many summers living on the island as a child. Well, I just read that, and let's read some tourist chronics. Bali as island provide in Indonesia is one of the most popular travel destinations in Southeast Asia. Nusa Penida, an island southeast of mainland Bali. This has told 2 stories based on a conversation with Luciene Anhar, the co-owner of Tugu Hotels and Restaurants Group in Indonesia, who shared her tips for tourists when visiting Bali. It's been edited for length and clarity. I was born in Malang, a city in East Java, Indonesia. I've lived in Bali since 2004, and before that has visited the island every summer since I was 5 years old. As a kid, I spent time learning and immersing myself in Balinese dance. Over the years, I've continued to develop a strong connection with Balinese culture. Our hotels in Canggu and Lombok, both hotspots for surfing, are filled with antiques that help celebrate the colorful history of Bali and Indonesia. You know what I read from Clifford Geertz? The Indonesian people, they love cockfights. They love gambling in cockfights. I wonder if they're still doing that. I still remember Bali of the 1980s and 90s and 2000s as heaven on earth, an exotic land of ancient Hindu temples and centuries-old banyan trees, endless rice fields, open fields of palm trees, empty beaches with the bluest of seas. Over the years, I've watched the beaches fill up, and it's become one of the top vacation spots in Asia. That's true. If you follow any, Norwegian people, they during the summer they always post pictures from Bali, and that's fine. I guess Indonesia is not as violent as Brazil, you know? But there are a lot of prohibitions in Indonesia. In 2019, before borders closed, Bali received over 6.3 million tourists per Statista. Bali is also gaining popularity among digital nomads. More than 3,000 digital nomad works and live from the island. Work and live from the island, according to a November report by German outlet DW. As Bali continues to be a hotspot for expats and tourists alike, here are 6 things foreigners should avoid doing when visiting the island. Maybe do not stop going to cockfights, you know. Maybe they want you to go with them to cockfights. First, 1. Don't sunbathe topless and avoid wearing skimpy clothing. I don't know what is skimpy, but do not topless. Balinese people are too polite to say anything, but many find overly revealing clothing to be inappropriate. For example, many locals find it offensive for tourists to wear shorts that show your butt fold, or to talk around in G-string bikinis. Tourists should avoid wearing see-through or fishnet dresses on the streets. It's also not appropriate to be topless on the beach. As nature is considered sacred in Bali, rules on how to behave don't only apply with temples. Tourists should avoid taking Instagram photos showing off their body on Mount Agung, the most sacred mountain in Bali, or hugging sacred banyan trees naked. Hugging sacred banyan trees naked. I mean, you won't do this in your home country, right? Well, in your home country, right? These tourists are crazy, isn't it? Well, mankind is a lot of craziness. They have, all people are pretty crazy. 2. Avoid showing too much physical affection in public. Yeah, you know what I knew about Indonesia is that they are evangelic, you know. They are fundamentalist. I don't know if they are Arabic, but once I knew that they were evangelic, like neo-Pentecostal, something like that, you know. I got pretty scary about that, because I don't know, I don't like the neo-Pentecostals, the evangelics, because they are too, they don't know nothing about it. They hate knowledge. Indonesia made headlines last year for criminalizing sex outside marriage. Yeah, this was famous. However, tourists can only be charged by this law, which will go into effect in 2025. If they are reported to the police by the Indonesian national's parent or child, according to The Guardian, sitting legislator Taufik Basari. Can you see, it's a pretty dumb country. The people are, I don't know, maybe if cockfights are the most, how to say, the most healthier thing they do. While most Balinese people are very open-minded, there are limitations to how much PDA is acceptable. For example, making out or acting overly sexual in public can make locals feel awkward. However, it's fine for friends of the same gender to hug or hold hands, and this is something you will see among locals as well. 3. Don't limit your travel experience to just popular tourist beaches. This don't sound like a must-do, or I don't know. Don't even read this. This that 3 point was insider. I don't know, insider woke agenda. 4. Balinese people attend many ceremonies, so don't expect them to adjust their schedules for you. This looks like what I read from Clifford Gertz. They said they were a lot of, well, actually Clifford Gertz were with Aboriginal in Indonesia, and they were pretty religious people. Balinese people perform many ceremonies throughout the year, including praying at their house temple, village temples, attending cremations, and even for things like feeding teeth. One of the most important ceremonies for Balinese people, for every ceremony, locals ask a priest for the Hari Baik, which means which means the blessed date in Indonesian. That can depend on the moon, gods, and Balinese calendar. In Bali, there are times when locals can't come to work because of these ceremonies. Some expats employ or live with house staff, so they shouldn't expect staff to work on the days they have ceremonies, or force them to reschedule the events they have to attend, as locals find these occasions very important. There's even one day a year, Nyepi, when Bali goes silent. The airport is shut and everyone, including tourists, is meant to stay inside. This year, the Day of Silence was celebrated on March 22. 5. Avoid falling for popular tourist traps that are set up to scam foreigners. There are several activities tourists should avoid. While traditional healing in Bali has become more popular since the film Eat, Pray, Love, not all of them are real. Do your research before paying or engaging local healers, especially if they charge exorbitant prices. Another common tourist trap consists of for hire drivers taking foreigners to shops that sells random things like jewelry. Many times these shops sell items made with low quality silver. Tourists often find themselves pressured to purchase things they don't want. These drivers insist for them to do so as they are working for a commission. To avoid these situations, only hire a driver to reputable agencies. Yeah, who knows? 6. Don't get aggressive when driving on the road. The traffic is bad. Well, Insider is a not good review. Is another good magazine. Well, I lost my time reading Insider. Can you see how Insider is bad? There's a news here, insider.com, but it's not more a Business Insider. Anyway, that says Baked Bennett from yesterday, March 27. Food. I tried folding my eggs instead of scrambling them, and it's changed my morning routine. You know, all the West media and West civilization is everything about take off the confidence of people. You know, look, people don't even know how to eat. You know, they have to copy some behavior from other people. You know, I don't know how to do my eggs. You know, that's what it is. Or I don't know what to do and what to not do in Bali, you know. Look, there's a local. What we just read after this, before this news. This Business Insider is making you to choose some respectable, some multinational agencies, you know. This obviously Business Insider is paid for these multinational agencies. Oh no, so you go to Bali, you go to anywhere in the world. Oh no, some local is trying to sell me anything. Oh, I'm gonna die. Come on, dude. Come on. You have to discover yourself. You have to behave. Yeah, know yourself. Don't behave like Business Insider want you to behave. Business Insider is taking your the Western media, take the confidence of people. Look, review. I tried the folded egg method in an attempt to upgrade my breakfast sandwiches. These eggs turned out a tad overcooked in some spots. On the whole, they were fluffy and held together well on my toast. No, I have to tell you, what you have to eat is broccoli. You have to eat broccoli, understand? And I don't remember now, but all the vegetables that are very dark green, those are the vegetables, because these vegetables, they have calcium, and the calcium is very important for your nutrition. Yeah, eggs are important, but make some eggs with broccoli. Try it. You will be you will be healthy.